Hi everyone, good Sunday afternoon to you. It is 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm. We're going to do an update on our next two weather makers coming our way during the work week and into next weekend. First of all, if you're a follower of me on Facebook and you commented on the post I made this morning, kind of talking about yesterday's storm, I really appreciate all the kind words everybody has had to say. I put a little bit of a commentary about the way some people consume weather information and how I think for a lot of people there's so many sources of weather information now that it all kind of bleeds together. Truth of the matter is, our forecast for yesterday, well, it wasn't great. We should not have increased the forecast to an inch or two. We should have left it at a coating to an inch. It's not like we promised a ton of snow and a ton of travel impacts or anything like that. There were some inflated numbers from other sources out there, and I think some people consumed that information and kind of assumed that was our forecast as well when it really wasn't. So, our forecast was not great, but we've had much, much worse snow forecasts in recent memory across our area. So I think that our forecast was generally okay. And I had someone tell me I was thin-skinned. Believe me, I've been doing this for 22 years. You don't predict the weather for a living for 22 years and develop quite a thick skin. I've got a thick skin, but sometimes you just got to set the record straight when it comes to what the actual forecast was. All right, on to the next. We've got two more things to keep track of beyond today. The rest of today, some conversational flurries and light snow out there. This is really not adding up too much. But we're going to fast forward to the middle of the week, specifically Tuesday morning. Here's our next weather maker coming our way. Now, this will be a strong area of low pressure pushing into the region. And while this will be primarily a rain and wind maker for us, first thing Tuesday morning, this could be tricky for a brief time. We've stopped the clock here right around daybreak on Tuesday. This is when a lot of people are heading off to work and school. And you'll notice we've got some colors other than green on this particular model here. Temperatures are going to be very close to freezing, I think, in most spots first thing in the morning on Tuesday. And as precipitation pushes in, we could see something other than rain for a time. And that could be a brief period of wet, gloppy snow. Could be kind of a snow-sleet mix. Could even have a brief period of freezing rain. All of this is going to be confined to the early morning hours, however. I think as we go towards mid to late morning and certainly into the afternoon, it's just rain and wind that is going to be the story. But if you have to commute first thing Tuesday morning, just be on the lookout for some slippery conditions. I do think that snow accumulations would be pretty minor if we did have any. I don't think snow accumulations will be the story with this. It could just be, a little glaze of ice that causes some issues first thing in the morning on Tuesday. This is kind of a model blend of temperatures here. Showing right around daybreak, it could be 32 to 35 degrees on average. We're hoping, of course, it's above freezing. But if in some locations it's right at 32, you might have rain or at least mixed precipitation falling into that kind of an air mass. So again, the snow accumulations probably are going to be fairly minor. I think we're looking at maybe, less than an inch in terms of snow accumulations, but, caution is advised for first thing Tuesday morning. Then this becomes a rain and wind maker, and this is, again, another kind of model blend showing us what to expect as far as wind gusts go. I think the strongest wind gusts, let's back this up, strongest wind gusts will be Tuesday afternoon. It'll be getting blustery before the morning is through on Tuesday, but by Tuesday afternoon, there could be, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts out there. Especially when it's raining and some of that rain pulls down some wind energy from up above our heads near the cloud layer. That rain can bring that momentum or energy down to the surface where we are. So it's going to be possible that, some 40, 50 mile per hour gusts are out there. And, something to keep in mind is, this will be a fair amount of rain coming our way. And with wind gusts that strong, some weak trees could be susceptible to toppling over and that sort of thing if you get enough rain that really saturates the ground and weakens the root structure a little bit on some of those more susceptible trees. That may be something we have to watch out for. It could result in some power outages. So we get a windy period Tuesday afternoon. I think the wind tries to relax some at night, and then it kicks back up again on Wednesday. And once again, mostly midday and afternoon on Wednesday, there could be some 40-plus mile per hour gusts out there. Now, once we get done with that midweek system, we'll keep our eye on the end of the week and into the upcoming weekend. Here's one suite of modeling. Each little L you see here is a possible area or spot where the low or the center of the storm is located. And where you see kind of these darker green colors, that's where we have the most model agreement. So this is in the wee hours of Saturday morning, right around midnight actually, Friday night into Saturday morning. Our low pushing through Kentucky. Now I think the air mass as this low pushes north will be cold enough to support snow across our area. for Friday night. The question will be, as far as Saturday's weather is concerned, where does the low track? Now, this suite of modeling I'm showing you here brings the center of the low almost up I-71. This would not necessarily be a favorable track for us to remain all snow. If the track is something like this, we probably are going to see a changeover to at least mixed precipitation, if not rain, at some point on Saturday. If you want all snow, you want the low to cut more like this, something like that. But it seems likely right now that the low is going to try to track far enough to the west. No matter what suite of modeling you're looking at, here's the Canadian model, for example. There's pretty good agreement that this low track will bring in enough mild air that we'll see some sort of changeover on Saturday. But I think we could see a pretty decent thump of snow across the area Friday night ahead of the resurgence of milder air coming into our area later Friday night and heading into Saturday morning. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. Do odds favor a really big snowstorm at this point? No, because I don't love that storm track starting to be advertised by the modeling. But could it be impactful and enough to measure and shovel and plow for a time Friday night? I could see where that's something that comes to fruition before Saturday arrives. So we got lots of time to figure that one out too. Weather systems heading our way, possible impacts through next weekend and beyond next weekend. The coldest weather of the winter so far looks to settle in about a week from right now, late next weekend into the following week. I think from about the 14th or 15th through about the 20th, that 5 or 6 or 7 day period is easily going to be our coldest stretch of the winter so far. Make it a great Sunday afternoon, everyone. Go Browns this afternoon. I'll see you on Monday, 21 News at 5, 6, and 11. Weather for Weather Geeks, and of course on all my social media.